Greeting fellow modelers, hope you are all having a great day. So presenting part 5 of our build of the Fi-167A from MAREK model. Let's begin. Let's start with the upper wing framework. Here you see the panel. Let's put this aside for now and start with the framework. So we're going to cut this out. Of course, I doubled it. So we cut out the lead spar and then the spar box. Now they come in two sizes. The inner box, which you see here right now, which I fold, and then I will super glue into position. And then the larger, longer outer box. Use a steel rule to bend along the edges, really help after you score it lightly, and then super glue to hold everything in place. We now add glue to the smaller inner box and put the spar on, and you will see that it tapers in on the edge. Apply glue to the outer side and attach the larger box. Now these box structure, once we get them in the proper position, we just super glue the joints. Repeat the process for the other wing panel framework. And there you go. We just take a basic alignment, try to make sure as much as possible they have pretty much more or less the same angle, and then we cut out the connectors. And if you look, the connectors taper slowly inwards towards the center. So we put on both sides, glue in position, apply our glue, and then attach the other wing spar. And there we have pretty much a healthy looking upper wing spar unit. And to make it solid, we just coat it with super glue and rest aside. Now my favorite part. The upper wing panels now, we're going to basically cut out, and pay attention, it's not a straight line, it carries a slight curve. So although you see the ruler on it, do not cut straight. Follow exactly what you're seeing. And then I use the brush handle once I cut the inner panels out to fold around. It gives a more realistic look. Once we get the curvature, here's where things get a little technical. I get a spare cardstock. I fold it over, and now onto this, I am going to glue the inner wing panel. I just take a measurement, glue, and then use that as a reinforcement. Once I do the other side, I am then going to use super glue to join it. Now you see me using the scissors there. I'm cutting it so that I can put the wing spar through. And here you see I use the super glue, and it's not a flat press, it's just the edges. And then of course I make smaller cuts, and then I put the wing spar in. Now we cut out our outer panels. We usually get our cake decorating tool, use the larger side first, then the smaller side. This will help tremendously with a curve at the end. There you have it. Pretty much do a test fit, see that it aligns, and then we glue into position. Awesome. Nice. Little super glue on the trailing edge, and on the curve we put regular tacky glue, and pretty much we have it. Repeat to the other side and presto, we have a good looking upper wing. Loving it. And of course, I can't help wanting to see what it would look like. And there you have it. Not bad at all. So for the strut braces, because of the reduced scale, I'm going to only use half of what's there, double it with a cardstock, and then once I double it, we will cut out and then proceed to paint. Make sure mix the color as close as possible to what the original is, and we paint. Here's a tip: if you cannot mix the color to exactly match it, then paint both sides, so that way it will look uniform and proper. Also, never forget to paint the edges of everything on your model. Finishing is always something that's neglected on paper model that really adds to it. And here you can see me painting the edges. I really love how this model is coming out. Here you're looking on the other set of braces that attach the wing to the fuselage. So these are the center brace. We'll just repeat the process as we did with the main brace. I want to thank you so much for just joining me each and every week. And if you need more tips, hey, I have a suggestion for you that just might work. Why don't you try to head on over to my YouTube channel, where you will see so many other models that is being done by so many different brands. You have your Fiddler's Green, you have your Halinsky, you have not only MAREK but you have and several other kit makers. Thank you so much for your support. I really have a dream of just making this full time. Who knows? Anyone can dream big. And if you need tips, reviews, anything dealing with models, just head on over or even just like. Thank you so much. Let's look now on how we're going to integrate this. Just a dab of quick drying glue. This is to hold the strut in place. And once we know what the place is, we then use drops of super glue to hold it in place. Now, pay attention that these are slightly canted inwards. Okay? Just use a toothpick to spread it around. That should be fine. And then we apply the main struts. This is what will join the upper wing to the main wing. And we just repeat the process of what we're doing for all four. Check the alignment, that they're not twisted all over the place, and that pretty much from a side view, they all look like they are aligned. And now that we have it there, we'll just do a quick check, bring the model up, and put on the model. Now here's how I install it. There are different ways to do it. Because of the rigidity of it, I start with one and slowly work my way across to the others until everyone falls in place. And pretty much that's how I do it. Start with the outer, then slowly go towards the inside. The prop blade assembly, pretty much straightforward, except that again at this scale, there are certain things I leave out. First thing we do, we cut out our blades here. Now these would face the aircraft. The green side would be pointed towards the nose. I fold the blade along the toothpick, and again, like I said, because of the size, I cut off that part. Now remember, if you are doing this model at the original scale, no need to do that. We super glue the toothpick to the model. Make sure to not have it imprint. The secret to making good prop blades, don't let it show that it has a toothpick on the underside. In the process of doing this, I made sure to just color the blades correctly and then install them. Once we have the proper position what the blade is in, we then glue into place. Thank you so much for joining me this week. We're almost finished with this and hope to see you next time. So as usual, take care of yourself, be gentle, and above all, one love.